Hello, my name's Simone and I am a holistic health and lifestyle coach and transformational nutrition coach, as well as the founder of the Wellness War Room. Today I'm here to do an exercise with you, which I do with all of my one-on-one clients. And it's also an exercise which I have included in my signature 12-week program, Get Healthy, Happy and Sexy. But I believe in this exercise so much that I really want to share it with you today. I feel like it's something that I just can't keep, especially for my one-on-one clients, to do. And this exercise is called the Wheel of Life. And in this Wheel of Life exercise, we are going to find out the areas of your life that need to be nourished. And I don't mean being nourished by food. I'm sure that you have had moments in your life where you have eaten compulsively, where you have eaten to self-soothe, where you have binged eaten certain foods, or you have had emotional eating patterns. Now, the reason that these happen is because usually there is an area of our life that is not being nourished. It is something that happens to us when we are feeling really out of balance. So this Wheel of Life exercise is going to help you to identify which areas of your life are out of balance so that you can then know what you need to work on, what you need to nourish in order to get back into better balance. It's very hard to have all the areas of our life in balance at all times. And I call these areas of our life our soul foods. It's really difficult to get our soul foods in balance at all times. This is an exercise that you might like to revisit time and time again. Whenever you're feeling a little bit out of alignment or a little bit out of whack, it might be because there's something in your life that needs to be nourished. This is a very powerful exercise, and I can't wait for you to get stuck into it. But before I take you through this activity, you will need to download the document, which you will find below this video. I want you to download the Wheel of Life document so that you can actually print it off, and before you watch the rest of this video, so that you can actually have it next to you while you're watching with a pen or a pencil in your hand and actually do the activity as I take you through it. This is how it's going to become very powerful. If you just watch it on the screen, it's not as powerful as if you actually do it along with me. So before you press pause on the video now, before you continue watching, please go and download the Wheel of Life document, print it off, and have it ready to go, and I'll be with you in just another second.
Okay, so now you should have the Wheel of Life in front of you and a pen in your hand. And we are going to start doing this exercise so that you can discover what needs to be nourished in your life. But before we begin, there's a couple of things I want you to do. First of all, I want you to take a look at this wheel and review each of the 12 sections in the Wheel of Life. I want you to feel comfortable with each of these sections. If there are any of these sections that really do not sit with you, they're not in alignment with what you believe, they're things that you don't really have any importance to you in your life, then feel free to change any of these sections. So for example, maybe here, instead of education, you might want to change that to personal growth or personal learning or self-development. Something like that might make more sense for you. Perhaps here, instead of home environment, you might want to put something like recreation or leisure time. Maybe here, instead of social life, you might want to change that just to friends. Or perhaps relationships, you might want to change that to romance. Anything that is going to represent what a balanced life means like to you. This has to be relevant to you in your life. Okay, so once you have your Wheel of Life looking and feeling the way you would like it, I want you to then think about each of the 12 sections and to really think about what success feels like to you for each of these areas in the wheel. I want you to really visualize that and really feel what that is for you. Then what you're going to do is you are going to place a dot along each of the lines in the wheel. You are going to place a dot in the center or closer to the center if you really feel like that area of your life needs more work. Maybe you feel quite dissatisfied or not happy in that area of your life. while placing a dot on the outside of the circle indicates that you really feel very happy. If you put it right on the outside here, it means it's the ultimate happiness. There's nothing you would change about that area of your life. If you're pretty happy, maybe there's some things that you would like to change or to do better in that area, you might put the dot here, closer, not closer to the middle, but closer to the outside. Okay, so you're going to do this for each of the sections. And I want you to do that now. Just take a few minutes, maybe stop the video if you need to. So put your dots along each of the lines in the wheel. Once you have done that, what I want you to do is to connect the dots in your wheel of life. So you will draw a circle, or maybe it won't even look like a circle. Maybe it will be a little bit zigzagged, or maybe there'll be some really long flat bits in your wheel. And I want you to really think about, what does this mean for you? Those flat areas, or those wonky areas, or those areas that are very, very close to the center of the wheel. Does this mean that you really need to be putting more emphasis on that area of your life? Perhaps it means that you really need to be nourishing yourself by focusing more attention on that area of your life. There's a few questions that I'd like to ask you. Are there any surprises for you? Is there anything that you really are quite surprised about? You've maybe not thought about the fact that you haven't really been doing a lot of personal development work or education in your life at the moment. Maybe you feel like you really would like to be a little bit more creative, for example. Is there something that really stands out for you? And how do you feel as you look at your life through the wheel of life in this way? What does this say about how you currently are spending your time in these areas? Would you like to spend more time in some of these areas of your life? And which are the elements that you would really, really like to improve? And more importantly, how can you make space to make these changes? It's all well and good to say, yeah, I want to work on my finances, or I want to have a better career, but how are you going to make that happen? Maybe you need to get some help from others. Who are you going to ask to help you? What do you need to do to make this more of a circle, to make your wheel better, to make it more circular? What do you need to do to make your life more balanced? I've actually included a few questions on the same handout that your wheel of life is on, and I really encourage you to to answer those questions now, and to make some action steps. What are you going to do now that you know this about your life, to up-level your life or to add more nourishment in all areas of your life so that you can be more balanced?
Okay, so now that you have done the Wheel of Life exercise, I hope that it has made you a little bit more curious about your body, about the messages that your body is telling you. You now have a better understanding of why you might have some emotional eating patterns. You might have a better understanding of why you don't feel 100% happy and healthy. So now it's your job to try and integrate this new information to focus on the areas of nourishment that are lacking, so that you can have a more fulfilling and more happy and wholesome life. I would also like to invite you to join my 12-week program, Get Healthy, Happy and Sexy, where we talk about all of these areas, all of our soul foods. I get you looking at each of these and how you can focus on them more in your life so that you can feel more nourished, more healthy, more happy from the inside out. You can find out more about Get Healthy, Happy and Sexy by going to www.gethealthyhappyandsexy.com, and the registration link is there. I would love to see you in this program. I would love to be able to guide you, to help you through navigating what I think can be very, very complicated and very difficult at times, especially if you're new to this, if this is a new concept for you. So please head over to the Get Healthy, Happy and Sexy website. If not, that's totally fine as well. I really hope that you found today's exercise to be really, really useful. I will talk to you again later. I'm Simone from the Wellness War Room. Thank you very much.